Hi, everybody. Let's move on to chapter 6. Just an FYI, I went back and looked at the recent history for FRQ questions. It's been since 2009 since there's been one in religion. I've never been very good at predicting what the FRQs are going to be from year to year, but let's just say they're due on religion since it's been so long. Key issue 1, where religion is distributed. They're your largest branches when it comes to Christian. Remember, universalizing versus ethnic religions. Universalizing, they try to expand and make larger their flock. Ethnic are rural and isolated and stay in one place. Christians are obviously universal. Across the globe, Catholic can make up the biggest group. Protestants are the second largest, and Eastern Orthodox are your third largest branch. You can see it's easy to remember where the Eastern Orthodox come from. Eastern Europe, Southwest and East Europe are Protestants. Also try to remember that where most of the Christians are, they're mostly in the Western Hemisphere, particularly in Latin America, basically the Rio Grande south all the way to Argentina. Basically everybody is Catholic. Here's a breakdown here just in the United States of the denominations, particularly Baptists in the south, Lutherans in the north. Lutherans are in the north, remember, because of diffusion from Scandinavia. And basically everybody else is Catholic. Here's the breakdown here in the United States. Roman Catholic make up 32%. I'm going to jump ahead to the next one because we begin to see a really big change. And it's really in that purple slice where people are not practicing a religion anymore, either agnostic or atheist. Where, remember, atheists believe in no God, agnostics believe it's just too complicated and too big for our minds to understand. In reality, though, we're mostly Protestant in this country, not Catholic like we see in Latin America. Here's where we see the spread of Christianity across the globe among other religions as well. Obviously, you've got Roman Catholic in the yellow, and you can see that dominance in the Western Hemisphere. You can see the Eastern Orthodox is that bright orange or red. You can see that in Eastern Europe. No surprises, the blue is Hindu, the green is Buddhist, and so forth. We'll get into Islam and Sunni and Shiite here in a minute. Here's the breakdown of the United States again. Branch, remember, is a large and fundamental division of the religion. Remember, the religion is Christian. The branch, kind of like the language trees, is Catholic and Protestant. And then denomination is a division of a branch that unites a number of the local congregations. And so that's going to be smaller. And that's why that Baptist group, they're all Protestant. And that's part of that branch. Congregation, one of the other vocab words, that's just a small local assembly. That's your church. So if you are Catholic, your congregation is St. Mary's over on 224. All right, Islam, Sunni versus Shia. Remember, Sunni is the largest group. They believe that anyone can be their leader. It could be Saddam Hussein. It could be you or I. Shiites are the ones who are more strict. They believe only descendants of Muhammad can lead. Now, obviously, that gets complicated because Muhammad didn't have any sons, but we'll leave that up to the clerics of Islam. You find most of your Sunnis basically everywhere. They're the largest group. Shiites are mainly in Iran, about 50-50 in Iraq. And that's what led to huge conflict and during the war when we invaded in 2003, because it was a mixture of Sunnis and Shiites, and they don't get along over this, who's going to be their leader. Again, Shiites only want descendants of Muhammad who can be their leader. Remember, Judaism, everyone thinks this is a universalizing religion. It's ethnic. I know they're scattered across the globe, particularly here in the United States, but since they are such a small, isolated group, in whole, remember, there's only about 14 million in the entire world. That's not a very large group. So remember, they are going to be ethnic, not universal. Here's just a brief background on who they are. What's interesting about all this is that Christians, Muslims, and Jews are all interconnected. Remember, Jesus was Jewish. Muhammad's ancestor was Abraham. Remember the family tree of Abraham and his two sons and which one he was going to sacrifice, Ishmael or Isaac. And we all kind of go back to that original family tree. Remember, there are two versions of the Bible as well. The Jewish history is called the Torah, sometimes referred to as the Old Testament. And then you got the New Testament, which is more of what the Christians are going to follow. And here's where they were unique early on. They were the first religion to encourage monotheism. Remember, that's a belief in only one God. Prior to that, thousands of years ago, people believed in multiple gods. Okay, I'm going to stop there.